Welcome back, everybody. This is lesson 22. This has to do with secants and tangent proofs or more challenging questions. And so, in the whole classwork, you probably had to have like a lot of explanations on why we had the rules. And so you might have seen some of the videos from last lesson 21. We did the homework. I kind of went over those same exact things. So just in case you weren't sure, make sure to go over homework number 21 video, just to go over the explanations of why this is true. Okay, so in circle C, shown below, a tangent has drawn to point A. If the measure angle CBA is 28 degrees, and explain why the measure angle DAB must equal to 62 degrees. Okay, so the first thing is that CA is a radius, okay, and where it intersects the tangent line, it should be perpendicular to it, because we know that our rules for tangents is that a tangent is perpendicular to the radius at the point of tangency. So angle CAD is a right angle, or in this case, the measure of angle CAD is equal to 9 degrees. And so from there, we also know that BC and AC are both congruent because all radii of a circle are congruent, which would mean that you have an isosceles triangle here. That means that angle, the measure of angle CAB must equal to the measure angle CBA, because in a triangle, if two sides are congruent or equal measure, their angles opposite must be congruent or equal measure. So we're going to have 28 degrees here. Ugh, my handwriting is terrible. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So put 28 degrees here, a little easier to see. I'll just erase my sloppy handwriting from before. Okay, and put a little arrow just to show which angle is 28 degrees. This one right here. Well, here's the thing. The measure of angle CAB plus the measure of angle BAD equals the measure of angle CAD. And our reason is a whole is equal to the sum of its parts. Okay, this is also known as partition postulate. Okay, so here, if that's the case, we can actually move things around and we can get the measure of angle BAD to equal to the measure of angle CAD minus the measure of angle CAB by subtracting both sides by the measure of angle CAB. And so here, the measure angle CAD is 90 degrees, we said before, and CAB is going to be 28 degrees. Well, that would mean that the measure angle BAD would equal to 90 minus 28. That's the 62 degrees we have. And so this is the reasoning we have here. We will basically explain that the measure angle CAD is 90 degrees because a tangent is perpendicular to the radius intersects at the point of tangency. We also know that CB and CA are congruent because all radii are congruent. Therefore, the measure angle CBA must equal to measure angle CAB. And therefore, angle CAB is going to be 28 degrees. We use our partition postulate, a whole is equal to sum of its parts. So the measure angle CAB plus the measure angle BAD is equal to a measure angle CAD. And therefore, by subtracting both sides by measure angle CAB, we get our equation measure angle BAD equals the measure angle CAD minus measure angle CAB, or 90 minus 28. Okay, so let's move on to question number 2. Now, one of the things also is when you do these problems, you want to make your diagrams as big as possible. And I know it takes up a lot of space in the paper, but you're able to fill in information that is not necessarily given to you right away, but can be solved. So let's take a look here. The circle shown, secants PE and PF have been drawn such that the measure arc CE is 82 degrees. So we'll label that 82 degrees. And the measure of DF is 98 degrees. Okay, so that's 98 degrees. So, and then the ratio of arc CD to EF is 2 to 7. So we'll call this measure 2x and this measure 7x. Well, that covers all 4 of the arcs that make up the whole circle. So we know that 82 degrees plus 7x plus 98 degrees plus 2x, because those are all the 2x, those are all the arcs that make up the circle, will add up to 360 degrees. Well, let's add up 98 and 82. That should give us 180. Hey, 180 degrees plus 9x equals 360 degrees. Subtracting 180 from both sides, we'll have 9x equals 180, or x equals 2, because in this case we divide both sides by 9. Let me show that work here. Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by 9 to get x equals to 20. Well, that means the measure of arc CD is equal to 2 times 20, or 40 degrees. And the measure of arc EF equals 7 times 20, or 140 degrees. Okay, now we're not finished yet though, because we're trying to find the measure angle P, and so we know the formula for this. I'll kind of move some things around a little bit to get a little space, so we know. Oops, okay, so I guess not. I'll use a different color. How's it sound? So the measure of angle P is equal to, well, it's an angle formed by two secants. Therefore, we're going to need the two arcs that are intercepted. In this case, arc EF and arc CD. And the formula is, in this case, it's going to be 1/2 the measure of the intercepted arcs. So we'll take 1/2 the measure of arc EF minus the measure of arc CD. Okay, let me lower this down a little bit. Therefore, the measure of angle P equals 1/2 of, well, we found EF to be 140 degrees, and measure arc CD is 40 degrees. Well, that's 1/2 of 100, or 50 degrees. So the measure angle P is equal to 50 degrees. All right, so again, it's a matter of just, we know that some of the questions are not going to be very straightforward of a single step. We need to find all the arcs that are caught inside of the angle, or the intercepted arcs here. And sometimes we are given certain information that that leads us to these values. Okay, question number 3. In circle O, tangent MQ and secant MN and chord PN are drawn. Oh, and let's make sure this is circle O. That's the center of circle. Okay. All right. So if the measure of angle NPQ is 102 and the measure angle M is 60, determine the measure of arc PR. Okay. So here's the thing. Well, again, we know that angle M is an angle formed by a tangent in the chord, meaning outside the circle. Therefore, the formula we have is the measure of angle M is equal to 1/2 the measure of the intercept arcs. And here, our intercept arcs will be arc NSP. And the minor arc will be arc PR. So, NSP minus the measure arc PR. Well, we do know the measure angle M, but we don't necessarily know the measure arc NSP. But we do know that the measure of angle NPQ is equal to 102. And we know in this case, a measure of an angle formed by a tangent and a chord is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc intercepted. So the measure of angle NPQ equals 1/2 the measure of arc NSP. Well, we know measure angle NPQ is 102 degrees, and that's equal to 1/2 of the measure arc NSP. Well, that means if we multiply both sides by 2, we're going to get 204 degrees equals the measure of arc NSP. So let's fill it in as 204 degrees. Now, let's go back to the top of our equation. We have here, we know this measure, and we know this measure. All we need to do now is find this measure. So the measure of angle NM is going to be, let's use green, 60 is equal to 1/2 of measure arc NSP is 204. We found that, minus the measure of arc PR. Okay, so to solve for this, the 1/2 we could keep there, but you know what? Just to make it easier for ourselves, oops, we're going to, well, let's pick the blue. We're going to multiply both sides by 2. And by doing that, we're going to allow for ourselves to be able to undo or kind of get rid of that 1/2. Okay, so here we go. We've got 120 is equal to, and the 2 and the 1/2 divide out to 1, 204 minus the measure of arc PR. Okay, and so we're going to subtract 204. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to add the measure arc PR to both sides. I like to keep things positive. And then subtract 120 from both sides, leaving us with the measure of arc PR is equal to 204 minus 120. Well, 204 minus 120. Okay, let's see now. I'm going to subtract that. We're going to get, in this case, it looks like 84. So the measure of arc PR is equal to 84 degrees. Again, we're sometimes not trying to find the angle right away by itself. Sometimes, again, we're trying to find the arc. And we're still using our formulas we know about angles formed by tangents and secants, or angles formed by two secants and all. Okay? So the key thing, and I'll make the full screen here so you can see everything. So the key thing here is that you want to make sure that you're keeping your formulas in front of you, that you're filling information. You want to figure out what information do I need, and can I figure it out to help me out? Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of part 1. And we'll continue in part 2 in the next video to answer the other 2 questions. I hope this is helpful. If you found the video helpful and you liked the work we did here, please add a like to the video. We appreciate that. Leave any questions or comments in the comment section below. I appreciate you subscribe to the channel to find out when any new videos do drop onto the channel. And this way you can be updated. Okay? Thanks for everything. And ladies and gentlemen, take care and be safe.